In worksheets 17 through 21, the Gemara asks a number of different questions that are called shailas. We discussed in class the difference between a kasha and a shaila. Kasha is when something is difficult, something is hard, it doesn't make sense. A shaila in English is more like an inquiry, which means we're asking, what is the halacha? And there are 11 cases that the Gemara is going to ask what the halacha is, and really the question is the same in all of these 11 cases. The question is, does the watchman get the kefel or doesn't he? But before the Gemara starts these 11 cases, the first case that the Gemara brings in worksheet 17 is an obvious case. The Gemara starts like this. Pshita, it's obvious. Amar eini mishali, if the watchman tells the owner, I'm not paying for the thing I watched, right? Let's say he's a shomer chinam, and he was watching something, and it was stolen. We know he doesn't really have to pay, and that's what the watchman says, I'm not going to pay. V'chazar v'amar hareini mishali, but if later he changes his mind, and he says, you know what, Mr. Owner, even though I don't have to pay, I'm going to pay. So haka'ama hareina mishali. So now that he's saying he's willing to pay, of course it's obvious in that case that he gets the kefel. That would be similar to the Mishnah. Mishnah says that if he says he's going to pay, he gets the kefel. So even though he started out saying he's not going to pay, but now that he's saying he's going to pay, so it's obvious that he gets the kefel. And now starts the first case where the Gemara has a shaila. The Gemara is not sure about this next case, which is the exact opposite of the obvious case. The Gemara wants to know, what about here? Does he get the kefel? Ella amar hareini mishalim. But if he starts out saying, behold, I will pay, v'chazar v'amar eini mishalim, and then he changes his mind and now says he's not going to pay, what? Or what is the halacha? What's the halacha if he starts out saying he's going to pay, and then he changes his mind and says, no, I'm not going to pay? What exactly is the shaila? What's the question? Why don't we know whether he gets the kefil or not? Because there's two ways of looking at it. Mi amrinan, do we say, mehadr kahadr bey, that indeed he's changing his mind? If he's changing his mind and now he says he's not going to pay, so he shouldn't get the kefil, even though he started saying he was going to pay, but now he's changing his mind. He's saying, I'm not paying. And we know that if a shomer says he's not going to pay, so he doesn't get the kefil. So maybe that's the halacha. He doesn't get the kefil. O dilma, or perhaps b'milsei kai, he's remaining with his words. His original words was he's going to pay. And even though he says now I'm not paying, maybe he's remaining with his original words of I am going to pay. And he's just pushing off the owner. So maybe the reason he said he's not paying now is not really because he's changing his mind. It's maybe because even though he still does want to pay, he's saying I'm not going to pay because he wants to push the owner off. Maybe he doesn't have enough money right now. So he's saying I'm not going to pay, but maybe really he still means to pay. And therefore, if he still means to pay, he will get the kefil.